Coming to you from an amazing Jerusalem, Israel. And we are at the Garden Tomb. Garden Tomb is the second option of the Tomb of Jesus. Yes, we do have two tombs of Jesus in Jerusalem. One of them, I'm sure that most of you already knows, it's the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, which is inside the city, and you can see the walls right there. From the 4th century, this is what so many believes in. But
I will get one of the gardeners and we will sort that out. I've never seen that happen before.
that's a big rib, then I will want to disturb them. But we know that the Jews cannot be buried inside the city. And the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is at the center of the city. From here, it's difficult to see the domes of the city, but you can see the wall, and it's actually that way, right? The building that's not so far away from here. Then the Protestants decided that if the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is not only at the center of the city, Times Square of the city, and divided to so many Christian orders, they said, all right, something is wrong here. We must look for something else. Then Charles Gordon at the 19th century went outside the walls to look for another possibility. Guess what? He found one. You can hear the bus station. We will talk about it soon. He found something that looks like it. First of all, you're looking at the Golgotha, the Calvary, a skull. And although it's difficult to see here, let me show you a picture from the 19th century. You can see the two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And you can see that it was on the main road. But people actually walk here. You can see some camels. And until today, it's a very important place. And as you can see, it's central part of the center. It's one of the center of the city. Then you can see the eyes and the nose and mouth. It's just beneath. You cannot see it right there. Then in that case, they found a place that looked like a skull. And then they asked themselves, what about garden of a rich man? You know that Jesus was buried in Joseph of Arimathea garden. It is in front of you, beautiful garden. And later on, they found the tomb himself. Then they will never say this is the tomb of Jesus, but they will try to convince you that it is the tomb of Jesus. Now, a lot of my friends are, and I don't want to disturb them, that visiting that place are annoyed by the idea that that place is next to the garbage area and the central bus station. This is the Palestinian bus station. But I want you to understand, and let's go back to the ancient tomb. You can see that it was next to a main road. And where are you going to crucify someone? Next to the main road. The idea is to spread the message. If you will do that, they will crucify you. Then in that case, Jesus has an unseen list. Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. The Jews were already, had already king. He was crowned by the Romans, and the only one who can crown someone as a king were the Romans. Then in that case, King Herod was the king at the same time. Then if Jesus said, I'm the king, he's a sinner in a way. Then another question, where he was crucified? On top of the Golgotha? Or next to the Golgotha? According to so many art, it was on top of it. But if you read the book of John, you will say that a place called skull, but it didn't say that he was crucified on top of it. Then in that matter, we believe, or here they believe, that he was crucified at the skull and not on top of it. Because if you want to see the sin list, You won't be able to see it from here. Then here it is. I will take you from here to see the tomb via the garden. Then please wait with me. Well, welcome back again. We are at the garden tomb. And let's say 200 meters, 600 feet from the Golgotha itself. And you can see the most beautiful garden here. Look how beautiful it is. Is that the garden of Joseph of Arimathea? Might be. If you're thinking about this city, can we build a huge garden inside the city, which is so crowded, so expensive, so many things to see there, so many synagogues, so many places, a lot of people visit? That is rare. Then in that case, we are so close to the city, and the garden tomb might be is garden of Joseph of Arimathea. And to show you that he was a rich man, there's a huge cistern, and suddenly they took the picture. I wanted to show you the picture, but you can see the light and the ladder. Then you can understand that the one who had that garden must be a rich man. It's or that it's owned by an institute or by a rich man. And next to it, we know that he built himself a tomb for his family, and the Jews have been buried. Can be buried in the garden. First of all, it's outside the city, but secondly, it's a private tomb. Then I can see that there's a big line to the tomb himself, but you can see that we're heading there, and that is the tomb. Let's talk about the outside side of the tomb. It was a cave. And I must say that the tomb that you're going to see is more likely from the first temple time. The Jews at the second temple time period, the time of King Herod temple, been buried in a different way, but it's still a Jewish tomb. Then you can see the cave, and because a tomb is not a clean place, not a pure place, and people have been dead there. To the right, look at that, you can see a kind of a tunnel. They take all the impure thing into, outside them, the tomb itself will be purer. In a regular tomb at the time of Jesus, people were buried in niches, kuchim in Hebrew, and after they've been buried and sealed, and someone else died, they used to open one of the kuchim, their niches, and took the bones out. The bones were put in those small ossuaries. Here it is. And then next to the tomb, a family tomb, you can find kind of a storeroom for that thing. And you can bury it in someone's house. The Bible told us that Jesus was buried in a tomb that never been used before. It means that it was kind of a new one, and no one been buried there before, and those boxes, ossuaries, weren't used at that time. Then I'm sure that if you will look for more tombs, you will find some, and maybe we will find a tomb that Joseph of Arimathea built for his family, because that is for Jesus. The only thing that is missing here is the rolling stone, but you can see the tunnel right there, and there's a rolling stone. People are sitting there and don't want to disturb them. Right here. It's not the original one. Then in that case, let's wait until they will enter to the tomb, and then we will be able to do that. One thing that I must tell you, there's so many debates. Is that a tomb or not? People It's okay to believe that that is the tomb. It's okay to believe that the Church of the Holy Sepulchre is the tomb. But please try to be gentle when you are sending your response. It's a belief. I wish that we could find something that said, "This is my tomb, Jesus," but we didn't find it. Anyhow, those two are close to each other, then in that case, it's not a problem at all. We are now next to the tomb itself, and let's go in. Let's. In that tomb, you can see 3 places to put the body in. That is one. That is the second one. And that's the third one. Why we believe that Jesus was put there? If you go to that area, you can see that they make that tomb a little bit bigger than, because the body was longer, higher than, bigger than the regular tomb. Then it might be the spot itself. And what I don't see now is the door, because they're now renovating it, and usually there's a sign on it. He's not here because he was risen. It's an ancient cross that was found here. Another reason to believe that it might be the tomb of Jesus. And we'll go out. You see the rolling stone in front of you. It's a short tour of the Garden Tomb. It's such an amazing place. There's one place here. There's so many things to see, and it's so quiet, so beautiful. Come and visit the Garden Tomb and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and then decide by yourself which one is better for you.